I guess my next question would sort of, or just to jump back into that discussion, I think about, I often think about crossing industries since I'm in nonprofits a lot, but I'm also doing a fair amount in the education in the medical community right now and in healthcare. And that's another place where we see a lot of fear against adoption of technology. And I guess I would say, back to Kevin, your experience working in different forms of the military, which is one of the most highly secure places, is there fear of social media and using technology a real barrier for America to move forward?
Depends on the branch a little bit. The Air Force is doing a lot of amazing things. The CIO of the Navy has come out strongly recently, just opening up the official Navy networks to social software of various kind. I had an incredible experience actually on the deck of the Eisenhower, talking to the XO about social media, and his view was that these are all banned. This was about 6 months ago. And when we talked to some folks in the bay in the Eisenhower, they had set up a cell card on a modem, a cell card as a modem on a laptop as a server for all the people in the bay. So whenever the ship was within 6 miles of shore, they had unfettered access to the internet. I think it just goes to show that, yeah, there's fear, and yeah, it's happening anyways, and different organizations are negotiating that inevitability in different ways. Some are fighting, some are accepting, some are trying to learn. The CIO of the Navy has committed the Navy and committed the IT of the Navy to learning, and has made many great leadership pronouncements about, look, the horse is out of the barn. We need to catch up, and the only way we're going to catch up is if we use these tools, so we have to open them up on our network. So there's a lot of work, there's a lot of concern, there's a lot of catch up, and I think the Navy is doing a great job.
So I guess, if we go back, Adelma, to Tom's, or some of the comments going on in chat right now about how do educators even find out about these conversations. I know that one of the things I've heard is when you knock on one door at a time, when you have one parent-teacher conference and you tell them about these great tools, when, one set of parents agrees to write those checks, that it works. But again, what's it going to take to have this really wide adoption? Is it going to be high-level corporate partners underwriting a major ad campaign to talk about the tools in education technology? Is it going to be, some really cool social media strategy that drives from a blogger kind of, grassroots perspective for educators? What do you think that tipping point is going to be?
I think what we have to do is start at the bottom, start with the students, then they take it to their parents, and we just have to get people excited about it. I think that's where it starts, and we also make it relevant. We have all these great, I taught in inner city. When I taught inner city public schools, 2nd and 3rd grade, and we would have these workshops to bring parents in to learn how to do their resumes online, to learn how to job search online. I think we start where people's needs are, and then they can see that, a lot of people only hear the negative that the internet provides or Facebook provides, or these places. We have to show them how it could benefit them. Hold workshops for parents, get the parents excited enough. Then the parents go and they speak to the principal, and the principal then takes it to the superintendent. And once we get everybody on the same page, then I think then we can grow and help our children to grow.
I agree with that. One of the really interesting things I'm seeing in the chat is the conversation about back channel bringing transparency to educators, and the idea that, don't we all wish that, first of all, to make sure the teachers were good, high quality, but also the conversations that can happen while you're in the middle of a conversation. Karen, do you think that will be normal for your daughter in the 4th grade when she's in high school? Do you think that it'll be there?
I think it absolutely will be there, because I think they're beginning to demand it. They're already very bold in how they bring up discussion questions. They're taught to bring up discussion questions, and I think just having a tool to put it in the space is great. What I liked about the chat was, especially in higher education, I think that's a great introduction for professors, and a great interesting way to bring in feedback immediately is through that back channel, and it's a fairly simple tool that folks should be able to bring in quickly. I kind of have a quick question about what are the other simple tools like back channel that are easier to adopt to bring into the classroom at whatever level in education.
I'm just going to let Stephen go. He's racking them off.
Yeah.
I love
Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah. He's good. Keep going, Stephen. Nice job. Yeah, Tom has the Classroom 2.0. Tom has great resources. Poll Anywhere was mentioned. I really like Poll Anywhere. That's wonderful. In terms of reframing, again, the cell phone in the same way that Facebook needs to be reframed. The cell phone is not evil. Facebook is not evil. It's all context. It's just a tool. If you put the tool in the right context, it becomes academic. And I couldn't agree more. Not Google Wave. Not yet, anyways. It needs some work. But Poll Anywhere can be great for reframing the cell phones.
Agreed. So, as you can see, we are wrapped out of time. So, it's just about the 7 o'clock hour for me here in Central Standard Time. I'm in New Orleans. I'd like to very much thank and give closing. I'd like to thank the over 30 people that were in and out of the chat this evening and had a really robust conversation. I enjoyed reading that very much. I'd like to thank Vocal for hosting the chat tonight. I'd actually never moderated one quite like this before, and technology, I think, really worked out well. Us early adopters that were in here, this was really fun for me. I'd like to thank Adelma Stanford in Atlanta, who's with Promethean, for joining us. She can be found on Twitter, and Adelma, if you just drop that into the chat, at Promethean USA. I'd like to thank Karen as well from Volunteer Spot, who's in Austin, Texas, and she's at Volunteer Spot. Thank you so much. And Kevin Prentiss, who's in New York City, at Prentiss. All of their information will also be, featuring in blog posts. And then I'd very much like to thank the Everywhere team out of Atlanta for helping orchestrate this chat, for asking me to come on as a moderator, for always being a driving force in education and technology conversations. So I'd like to thank them very much as well for producing this event from the back end. Everyone in the chat can't see them, but they made this as painless and as productive as possible. So I'd like to thank them as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Any final words from my panelists tonight?
Thank you guys so much.
I want to say thank you. Thank you for bringing this conversation.
Yeah, thank you
These
very
are the
much.
Conversations that'll make a difference.
Okay, I wanted to share something real quickly. Next week, Promethean is starting a Thank a Teacher campaign, and so we're basically going to just take the time to appreciate our teachers, thank our teachers. So I hope you guys will follow me and pay attention, and we'll send you guys, have some really cool videos up to share with you just to celebrate the teacher and celebrate education.
Great. Okay, well, thank you all so much.
Thank you all. It was a really interesting conversation. And and I just wanted to say that historically we've done this before. We got through telephones. We got through television. It's going to work out. It's going to take some continued efforts, but it's all been done before. We've made it before. Humanity will prevail. We'll win in the end.
Great, thank you. So, and just my final note, I guess I forgot to mention, I'm at Sloane on Twitter, and look forward to connecting with everybody. Hopefully we'll be doing another one of these chats again very soon. I will have more information about archives, and I will mention that within the next hour, again with the hashtag 21STCC that people can follow up on. Also, EdTech, and then Kevin, thank you so much for that